Eric.
And I'm Melissa.
Welcome back to our series celebrating 30 years with the Sega Master System. Today we are going to explore in a little bit greater depth the Sega Cards.
Ooh,
yeah.
They're so tiny.
Yeah. We talked about these in our Cards and Cartridges episode, and I wanted to actually talk about each of the individual games. There weren't very many. There's 7 total.
Are they, like, what do I want to say, like less meaty games?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're pretty simple games.
Yeah, because as we mentioned in that video and the other video, they're only 32 kilobytes, which makes them about a quarter of the size of most Master System games. So yeah, they're a little bit easier to play. They came in these nice little slick, tiny little cases, which for some reason has even worse case art than regular Master System games. It's a picture of someone holding the cartridge, when the cartridge, of course, has no artwork on it either. But they came in these little cases. They're about the size of a credit card, little plastic envelopes, and they slide right into the front of the Master System here, and you can play them. So they don't work on the Master System 2.
No.
But they will work on a Master System 1. So let's go ahead and talk about each of the 7 Sega Card games in turn.
Okay.
The first is F-16 Fighting Falcon. This is a flight simulator, and it has the distinction of being the only Master System game which uses a legacy, I think an SG-1000 video mode. The title screen is the standard SMS video mode, but the rest of the game is in an old video mode, and it is why this game does not work on the power-based converter with the Genesis, because the Genesis has a Master System built into it, but it doesn't have this older mode, while the video chip in the Master System does. So this is a flight simulator. Little hard to bear. It's pretty choppy. It's pretty hard to understand what's going on. I haven't spent a lot of time with this, but you know, if you want a flight simulator type thing, this is what you're going to get on the Master System. So yeah, F-16 Fighting Falcon. Hopefully these will stay up. I'm not sure they will. So. Let's do it this way. Okay. Next is Ghost House. This is good. Yeah, this is actually one of the better card games. You need to go through this house collecting keys, beating the Dracula, so that you can recover the, and I am not joking, the family jewels. Okay, but I think, I'm not exactly sure of all the things. There might be some randomness to this game in terms of the layouts, but I think it goes on indefinitely. But find the keys, beat the enemies, and recover the jewels. So yeah, that is Ghost House.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's probably one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Okay, the next, My Hero. This is it's almost like a street brawler, but not quite. It's really simplistic, and it's really hard. I struggled with this one a lot. You got to rescue your girlfriend from the punks. The manual and the back of the box here likes to use the phrase CD punks.
Ooh,
it uses that a lot. But it's kind of a one-hit kill. One hit, you're dead. Kind Same with the enemies. All you got to do is hit them once, and they fly off the screen. But they kind of come at you pretty quickly from both directions. There's a lot of tricky timing involved. I didn't get very far in this game.
Wow, one hit.
Yeah, it was kind of addicting, but I kept trying it over and over again, trying to get a little bit further. But so in that way, I guess it's kind of fun, but it's very unforgiving. So yeah, My Hero.
Okay.
Oh, I'm losing my gap.
Oh.
Okay. Are these in alphabetical order? Okay. Yeah. Spy versus Spy.
Ooh.
This is clearly based on the Mad TV, Mad Magazine, Spy versus Spy characters. This can be played 1 or 2 player, and the idea of the game is to go through the rooms, gather up the treasures, and make it to the airport before the other spy does that. You start as player 1 is the white spy, Heckle, and then there's the black spy, which is Jackal. And it's a 2-player game, so you can both play. You can set traps and whatnot. I actually enjoyed this. It's pretty fast-paced, pretty quick. Doesn't take a lot of time to get through. I got through like the first level. That didn't take much time. But I can see this being a fun sort of competitive game.
When you play together, when you play 2-player, is it competitive or is it?
Oh yeah, it's always competitive.
Oh,
it's always competitive.
So it's either you against the computer or you against your friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's split screen, so both characters you can see. And I think the manual even says you can set up traps or whatever and use the spy on the other screen to know what's going on. But seems kind of fun. Not too bad. All right. Super Tennis is next.
Oh boy.
This is one of the only sports games that is not a great, or one of the line of sports games that came much later that had actual athletes. They didn't make a great tennis. This is the only tennis game on the Master System. It's called Super Tennis. Not at all like Super Tennis for the Super Nintendo. Pretty straightforward. I struggled with the controls on this one a little bit, but I got the hang of it. This could be a very fun game. And I don't know if it's 1 or 2 players. It does have a doubles mode, but maybe that might be. It still might be competitive. I'm not sure, or I'm not sure if the 2-player is cooperative or competitive. But
I think it's cooperative. Let's play doubles, and you combine your ability with a teamwork.
There you go, right on the back.
So
not a bad game. Pretty fun. I could see spending some time with this. I think my brother played this a lot.
Yeah.
And, he enjoyed it. So yeah. Super Tennis. Okay, moving on to Teddy Boy. This is an interesting game. I think I played this for a little bit. I think basically what this is you're a little boy and you have to shoot these enemies with your micro gun. What do they call it? Mini gun, micro gun, and it makes them small, and then you have to run into them to defeat them. But the interesting thing about this is it throws a bunch of enemies on the screen at once. So it's pretty frenetic. You're trying to avoid these things. You're trying to shoot them, and you're at the same time you're trying to grab the mini versions before they disappear or get big. They do something bad you don't want to. You want to grab those in time. There are these dice on the screen. The number of dots on them tell you how many enemies are left in the box. And so they all jump out, and so you basically got to clear the screen. And I could see this being pretty fun. I didn't play it much. I didn't have it until I was much later, and I never really played a lot of it. But I played it a little bit today, and It's fun. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a fun little game. But again, like all the card games, this is a very simplistic.
Yes.
There's not a lot of gameplay mechanic to it. It's a very arcadey type experience.
And it would seem like you could probably get through them pretty quickly then. They're probably not very long.
I don't know if this. Yeah, I don't know what the end condition on this game is. If it just keeps looping or what. That's Teddy Boy. And that brings us to, I think, our final game, yes, which is TransBot. This is probably one of the more famous Sega Card games. It's a horizontal shooter. And you get power-ups, and it will transform you into a robot.
Transform you, huh?
Yeah. Or transmorph. I don't want to get
Copyrighted.
copyright. Yeah, you'll change into a robot with different weapons, and it's pretty much a horizontal shooter.
Okay.
So yeah, that is TransBot.
All right, not bad.
And that wraps up our sort of look at all of the Sega cards. Did you call them Hue cards?
Well, I
That's
did it, but I know.
Yeah, all right.
But
No,
you know, they're like the same thing. Come on.
Yeah, Sega did it first.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is the 7 Sega cards available for the Master System. Only works with the Master System 1 and the power-based converter for the Genesis, except F-16 Fighting Falcon, which uses an older legacy mode. The Genesis doesn't. Video mode. The Genesis doesn't support. So.
All right. Well, that's it for this video. We do hope that you're enjoying our series, and we hope that you'll come back for more videos as we celebrate 30 years with the Sega Master System.